தொழில்நுட்ப ஆலோசனைகள், புதிய தொழில்துறைகளுக்கான ஆலோசனைகள் மற்றும் வழிகாட்டல்கள் அடங்கிய பயிலரங்குகளையும் கருத்தரங்குகளையும் தொடர்ச்சியாக நடத்தி வருகிறது ATEA. பல ஆயிரம் உறுப்பினர்களை கொண்ட ATEA இன்று தொடக்க நிலையில் இருக்கும் தொழில்நுட்ப நிறுவனங்களுக்கும், ஹெல்த் கேர், ஆர்கானிக் ஃபார்மிங், ரியல் எஸ்டேட் நிறுவனங்கள் மற்றும் பிரான்சைஸ் வணிகத்துறை ஆகியவற்றுக்கும் முதலீட்டாளர்களை அறிமுகம் செய்வதோடு அத்துறைகளில் அவர்களது வெற்றிக்கு வழிகாட்டியாக உதவிக்கரம் நீட்டும் பணியையும் செய்து வருகிறது. அமெரிக்க தமிழ் தொழில் முனைவோர் சங்கத்தின் மற்றுமோர் புதிய முயற்சி ATEA டிஜிட்டல் ஆக்சலரேட்டர். இந்த முயற்சியின் மூலமாக பல முதலீட்டாளர்களின் அறிமுகமும், பல தொழில் வல்லுநர்களின் தொடர்பும், நிபுணர்களின் வழிகாட்டலும் மட்டுமன்றி தமிழக அரசின் ஸ்டார்ட் அப் கிராண்ட்ஸ், அதாவது மானிய உதவியும் கிடைக்கும் வாய்ப்பும் உள்ளது. வாருங்கள், தரணியெங்கும் வாழும் நம் தமிழர்களை தலை நிமிர்ந்த தமிழ் இனமாக மாற்றும் லட்சியத்துடன் ஒன்றிணைவோம். தமிழ் தொழில் முனைவோர் உலகின் எந்த மூலையில் இருந்தாலும் அமெரிக்க தமிழ் தொழில் முனைவோர் சங்கத்துடன் இணைய தொடர்பு கொள்ளுங்கள். மின்னஞ்சல், இமெயில் contact@ateausa.org, இணையதளம் www.ateausa.org.
Good morning, good evening, everyone. On behalf of American Tamil Entrepreneurs Association, I would like to say a very happy new year and welcome you all to ATEA Digital Accelerator Startup Cohort Kickoff. I'm Janaki Kauta. I'm going to be the event host for today's program. We're all in for such a great treat today. ATEA is kicking start this event this year, this fantastic event called Digital Accelerator Startup Cohort. Before we begin the event, I would like to invite ATEA exec team to the stage: Lena Kannappan, Ram Nagappan, Prabhakaran Murgaya, and Sivashankaran Moopanar. Lena Kannappan is a seasoned entrepreneur and co-founder of ATEA from Silicon Valley. Lena founded a company called Fusion Solutions, which got acquired by 8K Miles. Lena currently leads and directs the business operations for a company called Healthcare Triangle, where he leads investments and M&A activities. Ram Nagappan from New Jersey is the Chief Information Officer at BNY Mellon Pershing. With more than 30 years of experience, information technology experience, Ram oversees the firm's technology product management and digital experience delivery for wealth management solutions. Prabhakaran Murgaya, who's also a tech entrepreneur, founder and CEO of TechFetch from Ashburn, Virginia. We also have with us Sivashankaran Moopanar, CEO of 85 Technologies from Chicago. Now, Lena, take it away to introduce ATEA and today's keynote speaker, Dr. Neeraj Mittal, MD, Guidance, Government of Tamil Nadu.
தமிழன் என்று சொல்லடா, தலை நிமிர்ந்து நில்லடா. Happy New Year 2021 to everyone. Thank you, Janaki, for that nice introduction. And hello to Ram from New Jersey, as well as Prabhakar from Washington, D.C. Because of other conflicts, Shiva Moopanar couldn't join from Chicago today. And first, I would like to thank all the frontline healthcare workers and essential helpers for having, they have protected us and saved us to get through 2020. And we are all glad we are here. And, ATEA has been making a tremendous progress in spite of a lot of challenges, not having able to meet face to face. But at the same time, we've been doing several virtual events, and we've been launching multiple new initiatives and activities. I think today it's I should say an exciting day for all of us in terms of our first ever cohort or digital accelerator initiative. So before I go and introduce our keynote speaker, I want to say a couple of words about ATEA, and also let Ram and Prabha say a few words. ATEA is a non-profit 501c3 organization. It was founded in 2016, and ATEA helps to bring aspiring entrepreneurs, investors, and mentors, subject matter experts, and various accelerators and investment firms, and everybody all come together for a good cause, I should say, because we are helping people of Tamil origin here in our community to really grow and inspire entrepreneurs, to inspire the rest of the community this way. So with this, I think I want to give an opportunity for Ram and Prabhat to say more, and as we are in the beginning of 2021. Go ahead, Ram.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all, and good evening, everybody. So all I want to say is this is a very important milestone, because we all come from India, from Tamil Nadu, and now we are building a bridge back. If you all remember a year ago when Dr. Neeraj Mittal and all the Tamil Nadu government delegates came here, there was lots of discussion. And one thing is about how do we help ourselves and help back our homeland, and Tamil Nadu especially. And this is the first step. So I'm so happy. So I don't want to take too much time, because we want to hear from Dr. Neeraj and the rest of the people. So this is a good beginning. We are looking for all your support. And we wanted to make ATEA something very, very helpful to all of us, and also help back into the economy and the growth of Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. Prabhakar, please.
Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Ram. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Nice, and this is a very, very great initiative. Surkamana sollapona vande the digital accelerator will reduce the 8,000 miles difference to probably 8 seconds. We all can be a mentor. We all can be a mentee. So we want to create this platform so that everybody can contribute. Also, everybody can get benefited. We would like to collect a lot of information. We would like to help a lot of people. So this digital accelerator will mean definitely accelerate the entrepreneurship in US, entrepreneurship within the Tamil community, and entrepreneurship in Tamil Nadu. Back to you, Lena. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhat. So this digital accelerator, as Ram mentioned, when Chief Minister and came with a delegation from Tamil Nadu, we launched it. And since then, in 2020, over 75 startups have applied, and we have shortlisted from the top list of 75 companies. And then we've really taken them through curation and mentoring and evaluation process in the last 4 months. And today what you're going to hear about is we have 2 deal flow sessions planned, one later this evening, and the second deal flow is going to be tomorrow. And 4 companies are going to be pitching as part of the deal flow today, and 6 companies are going to be pitching tomorrow. With this, I'd like to invite the keynote speaker. And before I invite, I'd like to read about his profile. So we have Dr. Neeraj Mittal, IAS, Managing Director and CEO of Guidance Agency, which is part of Industries Department from Government of Tamil Nadu. Dr. Mittal is an officer of the 1992 batch of IAS, and electrical engineering by training from Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur MBA, and MBA from Cranfield University in UK. And he received his PhD in economics and MIS from Fisher College of Business, Ohio State University, USA. And Dr. Mittal has several publications to his credit. He has extensive experience in policy formulation and execution in e-governance, transport, industrial promotion, petroleum and natural gas, commerce and industry, and telecommunications and IT. In his last assignment, he worked for the World Bank at Washington, D.C. He is currently the MD and CEO of Guidance, Tamil Nadu's nodal agency for investment promotion and single window facilitation. His recent engagements include Project Arrow in Department of Post, eBiz project in Department of Commerce, world's largest cash transfer program in LPG in India, and Give It Up in Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, which leverage technology to simplify processes, improve efficiency, convenience, participation, and transparency in government. So we are thrilled to invite Dr. Neeraj Mittal to give us a keynote for this ATEA Digital Accelerator Startup Cohort 1 Kickoff. Welcome, Neeraj, and good morning.
America, the country with the most entrepreneurs, home to companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, and Tesla, successful companies that have brought amazing innovation to the modern world. The American Tamil Entrepreneur Association, or ATEA, is home to those Tamil professionals who have left their homes behind and migrated here and found success as entrepreneurs and leaders in technology. Founded in the year 2016 by experienced entrepreneurs from San Francisco and New York, ATEA transcends national boundaries to bring together Tamil professionals from all over the world. ATEA has been conducting workshops and seminars that have informed and advised entrepreneurs in various fields about early investment, emerging technologies, technical know-how, and mentoring. ATEA has many programs that assist entrepreneurs in every stage of their journey. Entrepreneurs can leverage ATEA's deep ecosystem of CXOs, SMEs, VCs, academics, and corporate executives. Another major initiative by the American Tamil Entrepreneur Association is the Digital Accelerator program. Digital Accelerator helps entrepreneurs connect with venture capitalists and seasoned professionals who offer expert technical advice. You could even qualify for a startup grant offered by the government of Tamil Nadu. Join us as we come together as proud Tamilians from all over the world and march together towards a common goal. If you are a Tamil entrepreneur anywhere in the world, contact the American Tamil Entrepreneur Association by email at contact@ateausa.org or visit us at www.ateausa.org.
Lena, am I on?
Yes, sir, you're on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Ram. Your voice was so nice. I think it was your voice on this video, possibly in the wrong profession. But thank you so much for having me over, Ram, Prabhakaran, Janaki, Shiva, for having me here today. It's been really a pleasant journey with ATEA. I see you have completed almost 5 years since the establishment of ATEA, and it's been a phenomenal success, I think, both for Tamil Nadu, as you all represent the best of Tamil Nadu in a very progressive place, the center of technology, innovation, which brings us to the idea of how do we leverage this combined strength of yours for the good of Tamil Nadu. So I'm really happy to be delivering the keynote address to kick off the first cohort of the Digital Accelerator program. it is obvious that the startup ecosystems have been on the rise globally for several decades, and India has been catching up. Tamil Nadu in particular has caught up in the last few years. The advantages of having a robust ecosystem is that the startups really contribute to jobs and growth. We have seen how startups played a key role in the pandemic, in either it's vaccine development or monitoring or support, logistics, and these therefore are the key attraction for any government to help entrepreneurs bring new products, concepts, improve market efficiency, build wealth, and create jobs. And in the end of it, enhanced economic growth. The policy framework for Tamil Nadu has been very, very robust. The state has been placed second in the India Innovation Index of 2019, which was ranked by Niti Aayog. The government of Tamil Nadu came out with a specific policy and a department to actually promote innovation and help entrepreneurs in their most difficult part of their journey. We aim to, as per the policy, become the global innovation hub for startups by 2023. The mission of the policy is really to create 100,000 skilled jobs, direct and indirect, in the startup ecosystem. The state has taken actually several steps in the recent past. One of them is, of course, what the Honorable CM made the announcement. I'll talk about it a little later. But there have been specific initiatives. For example, one of the recent ones is where the State Industrial Promotion Corporation, SIPCOT, has actually started setting up incubation centers for catalyzing innovation and enabling startups to achieve excellence in manufacturing. They are establishing industrial innovation centers in Sriperumbudur and Hosur. Each center will come up on a 10,000 square feet of floor plate and will offer comprehensive incubation facilities, resources, and services to nurture the journey of innovations. The Sriperumbudur Innovation Center will actually focus on mobility, defense, and aerospace. And the Hosur one aims to attract tech entrepreneurs focused on Industry 4.0, industrial IoT, and advanced manufacturing. We are actually tying up with private entrepreneurs who specialize in the helping startups from the day one to when they can get funding. And in Coimbatore, Forge Accelerator is the partner incubator. In fact, through these initiatives, we also intend to do a few more in other parts of the state. As part of this initiative to enhance the startup strength in manufacturing, I have been actually talking to the CII to actually get the MSMEs ahead of the curve. We have the largest number of factories in Tamil Nadu, and we have a great share in exports. But unless our MSMEs and our industries, the big industries together, pull them up on the curve of Industry 4.0, we have a clear possibility that we may be left behind in the next decade. And therefore, we are working with CII and academic institutions to come up with a scalable model to roll out and help on industries on one hand to adopt Industry 4.0 and startups to actually help them and handhold them to understand Industry 4.0 needs, to actually execute small innovations for them, to provide them consultancy services. So there is a great need for that, which we are working with CII. We are also looking for a guy who's crazy enough and who's an expert here who can help us, say, for example, for a year. So anyone who's keen can let us know. We also actually entered with a partnership with the World Economic Forum for Advanced Manufacturing Hub, by which it aims to actually again promote advanced IoT, Industry 4.0 technologies through collaboration with the World Economic Forum. And we intend to expand that activity significantly. Tamil Nadu really is very, very well placed with the very highly competent, skilled manpower which comes out every year. I don't have to repeat that. You all know, but about 1 million people come out in various disciplines who have the strength and technical competence to perform in a very, very highly competitive startup space. And these are actually going to be the centers for the new startup. And we recognize that. We want to take them along. The venture capital fund is another requirement to help the ecosystem of startups. And the government is actually setting up sector-specific venture capital funds. For example, through the electric vehicle policy, EV venture capital fund will be set up from contributions from SIPCOT and Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation. Through the biotechnology policy, a biotechnology venture capital fund has been set up by TNI FMC. Through the electronic hardware manufacturing policy, a seed capital fund has been set up under Entrepreneurial Development Institute to promote innovations in hardware, software, and other ventures. Another one is in the play. The government is looking out to come up with the fintech policy and in the BFSI space, and we intend to have a similar structure there as well. Guidance, as I possibly most of you would know what guidance is, but we have we are the industrial promotion agency for the state of Tamil Nadu, and with the help of ATEA, who is our one of the investment promotion arms in the United States, have conceived, when the Honorable Chief Minister came, he made this announcement of the Digital Accelerator program, and we are inviting startups to actually apply for this. The process has been in play for several months now. The aim is to encourage innovation and promote next generation technologies and bring you home. This was announced during the Honorable Chief Minister's visit in 2019, and ATEA has taken significant steps since then to promote this program and bring entrepreneurs on board. I think the evaluation and curation process is going on. Today is a couple of deal flows which are scheduled. The government has approved the first tranche of fund also for this program, and we are all set to actually welcome the startups in this new year to Tamil Nadu and get you home. Another program which is related to this, which actually helps the Tamilians come back home, is the Yadumure program, which is, and you would have seen in the recent past, we conducted a big Yadumure conference to bring all of the Tamils all across the world, not just the United States, and it received wide participation. We did it in October of 2020, and we had more than 38 countries represented with 300 associations also taking part. And I think Tamil Nadu has received several investments under this initiative from the United States. In July 2020, Guidance signed 9 MOUs worth about 317 crores with investment to about 2,500 people. And ATEA has been helping us in bringing investments to Tamil Nadu from the United States. And we hope that we will continue to be on this journey and make this even more successful. Tamil Nadu has actually been, despite COVID, it has been business as usual in terms of investments received. In 2020 alone, the year which just went by, which was otherwise very bad for the economy due to COVID, we signed almost 74 MOUs worth 61,474 crores with employment to almost 95,000 people. The largest investment we received was in renewable manufacturing, so solar and wind energy, about 10,000 crores, 11,000 crores with an investment for about 10,500 people. The next one was for data centers we received almost investment of 12,000 crores with the investment or employment for about 5,000 people, followed by renewable power generation, oil and gas, investments in industrial parks, and auto and automobile components. We have seen great conversion rates, which has helped industries quickly start from the signing of MOU with the government to starting production. In a recent, yesterday or day before, one of the companies actually tweeted that they applied for land ownership documents and it happened in 4 to 5 days time. So the conversion rate of investments has been pretty high, roughly around 90%. For 2019 Global Investment Summit, which we did for 304 MOUs. The Tamil Nadu has actually been growing robustly. The manufacturing sector has been growing at about 12%. Our overall GDSP has grown roughly twice the national rate. And that has helped the state stay ahead in this game across the entire India. In fact, during H1 and Q1, we had the largest investment across India in anywhere, in India, where no other state was actually able to even come close with seeking investments. The US, story of Tamil Nadu has been very, very robust. We have ranked first in attracting post-COVID investments, as I said earlier. And the US FDI finds India as one of the very attractive destinations. Almost 300 plus US companies with 375 projects of about $11 billion have invested so far. The top sectors where we've been receiving investments from the United States is in automotive, building materials, chemicals. Of course, we have all the big names from and that momentum continues thanks to the visit of the Honorable Chief Minister, where we really created the link and the bond between US and India. Almost 50% of the projects where we signed the MOUs during that visit, we had, I think, signed about 27 MOUs with about 5,000 crores of investment. They're already in various stages of implementation. And I think 4 projects have already been inaugurated, and 1 project has already actually gone into expansion. So that says a lot about the industrial ecosystem here. As 2021, we stand at the beginning of 2021, we want to accelerate the conversion rate. We have signed a lot of investments, MOUs last month, and we hope that the investment scenario will continue to be very, very favorable for the state. The sunrise sectors such as aerospace, defense, electric vehicles, pharma, heavy engineering, solar component manufacturing, and R&D will receive priority, and we hope that these spaces will receive a lot of investments. As travels open up, hopefully we will be able to visit you and you will be able to visit us, and that is our hope for 2021. As I said, Guidance is the nodal investment agency for the state of Tamil Nadu. Its main role is to connect everybody in the world to the state of Tamil Nadu as far as industrial development is concerned. We are working on a industrial policy which will be unveiled very shortly. We are also working on an export promotion policy to ensure that the leadership position which Tamil Nadu has in exports is retained. We have set up several country desks. Of course, US country desks, ATEA is our country desk in the United States. And we really want to remain present always for all investors. Our motto has been to be open 24/7. In fact, if you go and look up Google, it really says that we are open 24/7, just as says about some restaurants. So, jokes apart, we want to be really responsive and to each one who wants to come to Tamil Nadu in any form. We are taking up several initiatives to improve ease of doing business. One of them is, we are creating a completely new single window portal. which currently has only about 36 services. So when an investor comes to Tamil Nadu, he has to apply for clearances. So right now only 36 services are there. We are going to add another 200 services, and by April, May, or mid-year, we will have a new portal with the top of the line technological innovations there, so that investors don't have to run around here and there. We have also actually innovated in guidance. We've created a portal called BizBuddy, and that has been actually very, very successful for investors to put in their queries online, and then it is for us to take it up with any department, which may be online or offline. And that is the key innovation, that while you cannot expect every department to become online in a very short period of time, how do you bring the benefit of digital technology into the feedback loop of governance? And with that in mind, this BizBuddy connects almost 20-25 departments, about 200-300 officers are on that. We as a neutral third party mediate the transactions or communications. We follow up with each department individually. There is a well-defined SLA by which within 7 days, if it doesn't get solved, it gets escalated to the next level, and then to the next level, and within 30 to 40 days, it gets escalated to the Honorable Chief Minister. But our past experience in about last 6 months has been that we have been actually able to finish most of them within 15 days. And that is a lot to save, where all the departments have actually recognized the need for almost a real-time governance. And this is our small innovation to help you, the investors. I hope that we will have a very interesting session of deal flow today. And I thank ATEA. I thank all the members, all the office bearers of ATEA who have actually given us this opportunity to get you home. So welcome back home to Tamil Nadu. I hope we see a lot of investments from the United States, and thanks to ATEA once again.
I'm muted myself. Neeraj, that was a fantastic, keynote. It's truly inspiring, and it's amazing. We would definitely need such encouragement from Tamil Nadu government, and you're inviting us to just come and do more things with Tamil Nadu government. It's exciting. Thank you so much. And now I'll just let's start this panel discussion going.
Hi. So, Jangi, do you want me to just start the panel discussion now?
Yes. Neeraj.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jangi. Thank you so much. I think I am not the most competent person to actually head this panel discussion. Governments and innovations have been poles apart traditionally, and here I am sitting with the best of the breed in innovation and startup ecosystem. So thank you all, the panelists who are here today. Welcome to this panel discussion. Arun, Rajan, Karthee, and Rajan, Srikanth. Why don't we go ahead and start with a quick round of introduction, and then we can jump straight into a Q&A session. So can I request Arun?
Sure, I can start. So hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Arun Ramamoorthy. I am a founding partner of venture capital fund here called Z5 Capital. We do seed investments in B2B enterprise companies. In my background, I'm originally from Chennai, moved to the Bay Area in the late 90s, and then worked in tech companies, both large and small, and then somehow made my way in the investment arena in 2005, and I've been an investor since for the last almost 16 years now. I'm excited to be on the panel and happy to share thoughts and look forward to learning from other folks as well.
Thanks, Arun. Rajan?
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Neeraj, and hi, Arun, as well. I'm Rajan Srikanth. I'm actually dialing into this from Chennai, where I'm based for the last 15 plus years. I run the Chennai chapter of an organization called Keiretsu Forum, which is the world's largest angel investor group. In fact, those of you in the San Francisco Bay Area and maybe even in New York and other places probably have bumped into Keiretsu in some capacity or the other. We've had the Keiretsu Chennai chapter up and running for the last almost 6 years now. And the last 6 years, we've done about 85 investments in about 65 companies. A good 30-40% of them are from outside India, but the rest the bulk of them are from Tamil Nadu. More about Keiretsu as we go into the main presentation. Just a little bit of background. After IIT Madras Mechanical Engineering, I actually did my PhD from New York University and spent several years in the Bay Area, initially as a member of the faculty of the Haas School of Business at University of California, and then as a consultant working with several big consulting firms, which actually brought me to India in 2006. I came as the head of the region for Mercer. And from 2009, I've been happily retired, working with startups here in India for the most part. So I've been intimately involved with IIT Madras's incubation processes and ecosystem, and now I've actually increasingly gotten involved with several other educational institutions, engineering and other institutions in Tamil Nadu to help with the lab to market, which is a big passion of mine. Let me stop there.
Thanks, Rajan Srikanth. Rajan Raghavan? Do we have him?
No, he is not here. So please move with Karthee Madasamy, please.
Okay. Hi, Karthee.
Hi, Neeraj. How are you?
Good, thank you. So go ahead.
Yeah, hi, I'm Karthee Madasamy. I am a founding partner at MFV Partners. So we are an early stage deep tech fund here in Palo Alto, Bay Area. We look at tech differentiated companies. I spent a lot of time in India in my previous job at Qualcomm Ventures, where I started the India investment arm for Qualcomm Ventures. So we invested quite a bit in India. So we definitely know that for some of the tech differentiated companies, there's a lot of good companies that are coming out of India, especially the Chennai ecosystem, both from IIT Madras, but also College of Engineering Guindy, which is where I went to college. There's a auto-focused incubator now, so there is quite a bit of interesting companies coming out of different parts of the country, and especially in Tamil Nadu. So yeah, look forward to investing in these companies and then supporting them, and then make them global giants as well. And we actively work with people in the ecosystem there and provide that go-to-market for US, and also make them become like a global player.
Great, thanks, Karthee. So we are having a very interesting topic today. I mean, as as we look at the year which has gone by, it has been a devastating year for the economies. It's been devastating for lots of families, lots of people. But I think as we look into 2021, things look very sanguine. We have vaccines which have rolled out. We see green shoots in the economy, and we hope that the startup ecosystem is actually going to kickstart the large economy which has been sputtering. And in this context, let me ask Arun Ramamoorthy. The startup backers, private equity managers have been saying that the portfolio companies have not been really harmed by the coronavirus, right? According to 2 new surveys. But there have been delays in closing the deals. Investments haven't stopped. How do you think that the pandemic has actually changed your investment strategies? Arun, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry, did you miss that question?
Yeah, I had lost the connection a little bit. So okay. I did hear the question, but I didn't know it was directed towards me. But I'm happy to answer. So I think if I understand correctly, I'll paraphrase it just to make sure I got the question right. So you're asking about how the investment process has changed due to COVID and the pandemic. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think from again, speaking from my experience or what we have seen in the first half of the year, obviously things were very slow. There was uncertainty because a lot of investment obviously requires meeting in people, getting to know the teams, etc. And obviously, as investors, we were not used to doing remote investments. Having said that, I think the second half of the year, I would say starting maybe late fall in August, September, we started seeing also an increase in both the deal pickup, but also in investors closing deals remotely. And I think as we speak right now, we're looking at closing at least 3 deals in the next 2-3 weeks. So I think there is more comfort now. I think investors are comfortable doing deals remotely, and I expect that at least getting into 2021, we're going to see that continue. So kind of just to summarize that, things were definitely slow in the early part of pandemic, but I think it's starting to return to, I wouldn't say normalcy, but definitely the pace of investment has picked up.
Follow-up question: do you see that the pandemic has thrown up opportunities as well? I mean, apart from the challenges it has thrown, and where do you see that helping you or the startup entrepreneurs?
I mean, just to clarify that, so you're talking about areas, or you're talking about from a process perspective?
No, not only just the process. I mean, process, of course, you said that people have to meet, and actually there's something which the VCs, the video conferencing cannot capture, right? I mean, you need to actually see face-to-face investors. That's the process part. But in terms of areas, how has the pandemic,
So I think from an area perspective, clearly working from home, as a lot of people are doing right now, has opened up a lot of areas to invest in. Clearly, starting from that, we've seen interesting opportunities in the event space, just managing remote events at scale. There's also about the whole digital transformation has accelerated because of pandemic. Think of this as a compression of the innovation time cycle. What would have taken 3 to 4 to 5 years is now getting compressed. So a lot of companies are figuring out what the digital transformation looks like. And so everything from cloud to infrastructure, those areas are seeing a lot of investment. In addition, if you think about remote work, right, security is becoming a very important concern as well. So we're seeing opportunities there where your perimeter is now expanded as people work remotely, and you have to worry about how do you secure all those devices, how do you provide access to the data. So there are areas like that where the pandemic has definitely opened up new opportunities for investment. Having said that, there are certain areas which obviously have been impacted, like companies that have had exposure to hospitality and travel and retail and things like that.
Great. Thanks, Arun. That's very insightful. Rajan, let me come to you next. I mean, you've been in India, and you are doing a lot for very closely working with Indian entrepreneurs. I mean, the Indian economy, startup economy, has really been booming, COVID or no COVID. There has been, really influx of investments, global investors. There has been many developments, such as, the regulatory infrastructure has been evolving very fast. There have been global mergers and acquisitions. Entrepreneurial stories have been abound. For example, I think at the last count, 2018, I might be a bit off, but I think we had about 26 unicorns by 2018. Baiju, one of the unicorns in K-12, just raised, has a large valuation in billions of dollars. And these are all, examples where Indian startups have been actually showing to the world that they can do as well as anywhere else. Do you think there is space for Indian entrepreneurs to have a more space for global focus? And how do you think they should position themselves, especially Indian startups?
Right. I think to put what you said in perspective, this is probably the golden time in some sense in the Indian startup ecosystem for all the reasons you mentioned. Awareness levels are very high, activity levels are very high, engagement levels are very high, and this is not just at the investor side, but clearly on the aspiring entrepreneurs side as well. So in that sense, it is it's a great time. And your question was how should they be positioning for global
global outreach, global focus? Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is actually, in fact, I think what we are now increasingly seeing is the initial wave was really all about trying to replicate models that existed in other parts of the world. And then there was this next wave of actually trying to solve Indian problems with uniquely Indian solutions. But the next wave clearly is solving global problems from out of India. And in fact, the space that we at Keiretsu have focused on for the most part has been, I had said earlier, it's the lab to market, with working with institutions like IIT and in fact with VIT, with several other institutions. Anna University, we have just started. In fact, we just got in touch with a electric motorcycle manufacturer from Anna University just yesterday. But these are all people that are working on technologies that are absolutely cutting edge, and the products that they are talking about right from the get-go are designed with global customers in mind. So I think that it is definitely that whole surge of interest in doing things that, and also the confidence of doing things that actually could have global scope is definitely here, and it is now. So from that point of view, I think this ATEA Digital Accelerator initiative is spot on, because it's what I think will really, again, if I look back, over the 65 companies that we have funded, and the many more that I've been involved with as a mentor at IIT Madras, and Arun knows this because he's been involved with it in some capacity as well, is where they have actually struggled, even those that actually had that global scope even earlier, was access to markets, access to global markets, mentoring to help them with understanding how best to position their technology, architect their technology, and bring it to market. So ATEA, in that sense, I think, and this whole initiative of Tamils from around the world rolling up their sleeves and saying, let's work with these Indian companies that have global aspirations, is absolutely spot on.
Great. Thanks, Rajan. Let me come to Karthee. Karthee, you have done several rounds of and several successes in investments. And can you talk of possibly talk of some few successful investments and contrast them with the ones which were not really home runs, right? I mean, you have always a ratio, and how has that experience been? And especially for people who are looking at making such investments, I think from the pitfalls, what to do, what to not. I think that would be a very interesting take from you.
Yeah, no, sure thing. I think the first step is we have to try different experiments. It's still not very easily able to project out when a company is starting whether the company is going to be successful or not. Even experienced investors, people who have been investing for a long time, would say that. But yeah, the whole point of the startup ecosystem is that you try different experiments so that the system learns from itself, and then the successful startups actually learn from that system, and then the experiment that they are trying finally works out. So the one thing is, like, definitely there has to be more experiments that need to happen. So that's the first part. So, and I think when a startup ecosystem evolves, you get good unicorns. For example, in India, if unicorns start coming out maybe after 7-8 years, because that first 7-8 years, different experiments happen, and maybe some fail, but it's okay. But without doing those experiments, you wouldn't have gotten those successful companies out. So the first step is to try different experiments. So that's why supporting the very, very early stage of the ecosystem is very important. And I think if you look at companies, why they succeeded, or the companies that succeeded, understand the customer need very well. I think in a sense, that's probably what differentiates one from the other. So entrepreneurs who are starting today, I think the one feedback would be to be very keenly aware of what the customer need is and how you're solving the problem. Because oftentimes when you're building a company, when you're talking to investors, when you're talking to partners and others, you kind of go away from that. So companies that have kind of obsessively focused on what is the customer problem and how we are solving it have actually done well. And there are times where a key macroeconomic trend would help the adoption as well. When 15 years ago, the number of internet connections in India was very, very small number, but I think that has grown now. So what was not probably possible 10-15 years ago is possible today. Similarly, now, digital cash, UPI, and things like that. So there are always macroeconomic trends. So sometimes it might look that something is not possible today because of what the circumstances are. But you want to be aware of what are some of the long-term tailwinds, macroeconomic trends as well, and then kind of focus around those things as well. One of the investments that that I made that became successful was Waze out of Israel. They had all the things that were going wrong in a sense. Israel is not a company. It's that produces a lot of consumer startups. They produce like a lot of tech companies, like deep tech companies, but Waze was a consumer platform, and they're trying to take on Google Maps. At a time, Google was already a very significantly large property. But I think they had a fundamentally different technology, and they solved what the persistent need at the time for somebody who was trying to do navigation and other things on the map, and that helped them succeed. So whenever I look at it, whenever I evaluate companies, one of the things that I look at from entrepreneurs is that how obsessively are they focused on the problem that they're trying to solve versus focusing on their own technology or focusing on their own things. So so I think like as a budding ecosystem, that's the thing that we should constantly look at. What are the key problems that we keep stumbling upon, and how they can be solved in a technology enabled way, and then and then what macroeconomic trends and what long long-term tailwinds that we can take advantage of. So those are a few things that I would say. I think every company's success is very idiosyncratic as well. We can go into more detail. Yeah.
Thanks, Karthee. I think the key is, the experimentation and failure. I think this is key to success, if I hear from you. So I have just been told that we have only 8 more minutes to kind of wrap it up. So what I'm going to do is do a rapid fire, round with each one of you. Take a minute or and a half to kind of, give your views on that. So let's go to Arun. Arun, what are the metrics you use really, to track or before you make an investment? I think that's something, pre-investment. What is it that you're looking for?
Yeah, I think it's all comes down to, I would say, team. For me, the number one criteria I look for is the bet is on the team, especially in the early stages, because markets can change, the macroeconomic conditions, as Karthee pointed out, can change. But what you look for is a team that has the resilience and the determination, has a unique understanding of the customer problem, and also diversity of the team. So I would say the number one thing I look for that, and then obviously the other things that people look for are the product, and then also kind of beyond that the market, right? So it starts with the number one criteria I look for is the team and the diversity of the team, the depth of experience and understanding of the customer problem.
Great. I mean, I know Core Stack is one of them where you actually angel investing, right?
Yes, I will let the seed investment. That's right.
Yes. So great. I'm sure that's a great team, and we look forward to unicorn out of it.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
Great. Rajan, you've had so much of experience here, and the Kerutsu forum here in Chennai chapter, you're looking after it. What is it that you think Tamil Nadu should do to boost its ecosystem, startup ecosystem, especially in possibly manufacturing, because that's our core strength?
Right. I think there's really two things, and in fact, I talked about it once at a SICKI meeting, which is that there's a big problem is there's angel investing, but there's the gap between that angel round and the institutional round, because particularly in the space that we are, which is deep technology companies, and manufacturing is a big part of what's needed for those companies, is that there's a long runway by the time they reach a stage where venture investors are willing to put money into the company, and in some cases actually as much as 3-4 years. So there's a need for funding at that critical stage after the angel investors, which I think would be wonderful to see if there are. I don't know that I want the government to be getting into that space necessarily, but I really believe that industry can get into it and help in 2 or 3 different ways. I'm talking about the traditional manufacturing base in South India, the strong base of industrial families and what they do. It'd be great if they do a few things. One is clearly is fund these companies at that stage where it is between the initial proof of value, if you will, the field prototype and actually the productizing. Second, I think clearly is that if they can be initial customers, provide anchor customer type of arrangements where they say, look, I will give you the first business. I'll give you an opportunity to test your product, even to initially work out the manufacturing issues with my infrastructure. So those kinds of things, it would be great if the government actually can facilitate those conversations with big industry, maybe even give them incentives to do those kinds of things. I think because that's really where where things fall apart is they don't have the expertise to actually to productize, and they don't have the sourcing and other expertise as well to actually to start manufacturing. But most importantly, the money to make that bridge happen.
Great, thanks, Rajan. I think you are my guy who I'm looking for expanding the CII initiative. So we'll talk offline on this. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that. Karthee, so last question to you. We have about 2 or 3 minutes left. The talent planning, I think, is something which, Arun mentioned to the team, right? The team quality is important, but I think talent planning, and as these startups grow, is a, foundation. How do you think, what does it take to build a team to move the startup to the next level, right? You have a core team, and then as they grow, there are needs of the business. You need to think about how, you are expanding your team. You can't take decisions in the corridors, right? You have structures in place, and, innovation kind of falls to a lower level because processes come into place, there are approvals. So what do you think of that, and how do companies should respond to that?
Yeah, I think this is one of the places, this is one of the areas Silicon Valley actually does very well. One of the reasons why there are so many startups in the Silicon Valley is because of this thing. One is obviously to start the companies, but then when you get to the next scale, next stage, you need like middle management, you need processes and things like that. So where experienced folks can come in and help. And I think that's one of the areas that needs to be. It is a long-term investment. It cannot be done overnight. I think what India today probably has is that because of the last 15 years of the venture ecosystem, now there are enough middle managers, enough executive talent as well. But initial days, I remember a lot of the executive talent used to be imported from the US. So I think it's a long-term investment that they have to make, and that becomes the barrier to entry. That becomes the kind of a competitive advantage of the ecosystem as well. And if at different stages, you probably need different people. So at the middle management to manage teams and put some processes together, to the next stage where how do you scale quickly, and then finally to how do you take it to a public markets and things like that. So it's a long-term investment. I think this is one of the things that it's a 10, 15, 20-year horizon type of investment into the ecosystem. But I think this is required, and then that's what will make the ecosystem kind of self-sustaining as well.
Great, thanks, Karthee. I think we've had a great session. Thanks for my personal thanks to all the panelists. And the takeaways, I think, really are that we have a very sanguine year ahead. I think the key takeaways are that we need to have really first experiment. Failure is a necessity. If you don't fail, you will not succeed. And good teams. So having a good set of people to really start your operations who believe in your vision, even if it looks impossible. I think that's another key. Changing your strategy as you grow is another, important thing. You can't have the same machine serving the company all through which you started with. Patience, it may take 6-7 years before you see anything coming out of it. So don't lose, steam before that. You have to believe in, small efforts. The biggies in the game have to support these small, startups. And I think these are really important learnings for all of us here, both for government and for, I think, individual entrepreneurs. So thank you so much. My heartfelt thanks to all of you. Thanks to ATEA. Thanks to Lena, Ram, and to panelists, Arun, Karthee, and Rajan. And hope to see you soon. We'll see you first, Rajan.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, you.
Neeraj, and thanks everyone. Bye.
Thanks. Back to Prakash. I hope I'm in time.
Yes, thank you. So we're going to see now videos of all the companies that are selected in this cohort. So please stay on. It's going to be exciting.
In real estate, imagining a home or space that is empty or unbuilt can be a big source of frustration for buyers and sellers. AtHum is a B2B SaaS platform for property owners and operators. Our goal is to provide a better customer experience through personalized virtual tours and showrooms powered by our AI technology. Today, property searching happens on listing services. By embedding our virtual tours, sellers are providing a user experience that helps prospects imagine the space how they would like it. Prospects can then schedule a meeting with an agent using our smart showrooms. Agents can personalize each tour using marketing material to connect with the prospect and further understand their needs. With machine learning, our short online consultation can predict a customer's individual style with up to 85% accuracy. Using predictive algorithms, heuristic models, and computational creativity, we're able to construct digital model homes that are unique to each end user's lifestyle. Our customers can create emotional connections with their prospects, increase customer satisfaction, and decrease the sales cycle.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul, co-founder and CEO of ATEA Technologies. We are an IoT and a deep tech startup focusing on solving real-life problems for our customers aligned to sustainable development goals. Through our integrated platform A1, which is both self-healing and self-learning, we unlock different use cases, namely temperature monitoring for the food supply chain, saving a lot of food wastages for our clients, energy monitoring for large factories and buildings, and we are the only startup working today on integrated platform for cloud kitchen utility monitoring and management, thereby making them energy efficient and also bringing in transparency in operations. We are very excited to partner with ATEA and the government of Tamil Nadu and looking forward to be part of this initiative. Thank you.
Cloud growth is expected to reach $355 billion by 2022. However, companies are struggling with operational complexities, security and compliance assurances, and unabated cloud costs. What's needed is real cloud governance. Welcome to CoreStack. We empower enterprises to rapidly achieve continuous and autonomous cloud governance at scale. We've helped many companies achieve needle-moving value. Backed by strong technology, advanced partnerships, industry recognitions, and an experienced team, we're confident we can deliver transformational cloud governance for your enterprise. Thank you for your time.
Hello everyone, this is Jay from Dido PLC. Dido is design and innovation company in the mobility and wellness space. Pedalees is the first offering from Dido, India's first electric bicycle with connected intelligence. The connected intelligence is provided by the mobile app along with a proprietary controller which talks to the battery and the motor. In smart mode, senses the terrain and provides the pedal assist. In hard mode, the algorithm decides based on the heartbeat to provide the level of pedal assist.
Edge computing and AI continue to be super hot topics of conversation because of the enormous promise they offer and also because they fuel many of the tech trends getting a lot of buzz today. My name is Jax Kandasamy, co-founder and CEO of Latent AI. We develop tools and technologies that bring AI inference to the edge. What does that mean in the real world? For example, have you tried talking to your voice assistants like Siri or Alexa while they're offline? If so, you probably never got an answer. Now imagine a world where all your devices are smart, even offline. Latent AI makes this possible. Our set of tools enable developers to train AI models to small sizes and run them efficiently on any hardware device.
Are you suffering from stress, anxiety disorder, addiction, diet, or wellness issues? With Pacifier, everyone can have a timely and affordable multi-channel access to a complete and holistic approach of emotional and mental wellness. Here's all that you've to do. Download Pacifier for Clients app from your mobile app store or Play Store. Create an account using your phone number and email ID. Do a self-assessment to determine your current mood and the reason why you're calling. Select from among several emotional, mental health, or wellness providers and connect with them via chat, phone call, or video call. There's an after session to understand how you're feeling after your session and then rate the provider. As a provider of emotional, mental health, or wellness, expanding the number of your clients and growing your earning is easy. Download the Pacifier for Provider app from your mobile app or Play Store. Create your account, connect with clients via chat, phone call, or video call to do the session.
I would say it would absolutely ensure that you have a healthier, more efficient, more effective approach.
So my right knee, the range of motion is completely 100%.
The Coupe is a completely novel and technologically advanced way to achieve these goals and a lot more. Through the use of a sweat-resistant sensor and a phone app, we're able to monitor your range of motion, adherence to physical therapy protocols, and track your pain levels. And more importantly, Recoup allows us to have another point of contact with our patients.
Introducing Ripe.io. We are building a food quality network to help answer what is in your food, where has it been, and what's happened to it as it passes through the supply chain. We create product history from seed to fork, enabling new analytics and business models. We are a team with deep experience in technology, food, agriculture, and science. Named by Forbes as one of the 25 most innovative ag tech startups, and supported by Ag Funder for most innovative startup. We are Ripe.io, blockchain of food. Visit us at ripe.io today.
Introducing SwirePay, a simple and easy way to send and receive payments online. With SwirePay, businesses have a single solution to process payments online at point of sale and pay vendors and employees. SwirePay provides support for multiple payment methods, including card and wallets to receive money, as well as wire transfers to send money to other businesses. SwirePay can easily integrate with online websites, CRM, and even applications on internet like ERPs. SwirePay helps businesses manage all payments and expenses in a single dashboard, automating accounting. SwirePay's inbuilt deep learning engine helps businesses auto-categorize all payments and expenses, detect and block fraudulent transactions, and get connected to lenders for collateral-free working capital. Sign up today and simplify your business with SwirePay.
Hello. Prakash, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Shiva.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, okay. Yeah, good evening and good morning, everyone. And on behalf of ATEA Digital Accelerator team, I would like to thank all the curators and the evaluators who involved on this ATEA Digital Accelerator Startup Cohort 1. And I appreciate their efforts and the support provided to the ATEA for the past few months. Thank you again. Back to you, Prakash.
Prakash, we still see the screen. Okay. So I would like to take this time to thank all the participants and all the viewers. Thank you all for joining us today. And the real work starts behind the scenes now. The deal flow meeting, where the founders of these startups will be pitching in front of the investors for the next 2 days. Today, investors from SmartKapital and MFV Partners, Cresto Forum, and the Fabric will be listening and evaluating ATEA curated companies. And tomorrow, U First Capital, DVP Partners, Point God Ventures, and National Grid Partners will be listening to these founders. We will definitely update the outcome of the deal flow meetings in our ATEA website soon. And once again, thank you all for joining us. And let's get the team to go through the deal flow. Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Ram. Thank you, everybody. Prakash, back to you.
Okay, folks, if you're an investor, please join the deal flow. The rest, good night, good day. Thank you.